The Charms, right here on the Tony Jones Show. Walk, Walk, Baby, the name of that one. Charmed, I'm Sure, the name of the album. Before that, we heard from some local boys, the Wolfbane Blues, Dying Day, the name of that track. And then we heard from the McGunks, Hangover, the name of that track. And of course, as I mentioned before we broke into the rock and roll, Bob McGunk in the Hangovers in this very studio. 1 week from tonight, you're going to want to check that out. And what you just heard was, of course, we paid our due. We turned our eyes towards some local music, but inadvertently, what I think you heard was 3 songs from bands that I would consider to be in the Tony Jones Show stable, if you will, to kind of use a professional wrestling term. So one of the things that I've tried to do with this program, other than talk and rock and expose you all to new music and talk about great events, is we kind of have our signature bands too, our stable bands, because as I've said on this show probably hundreds of times, the good thing, the best thing about having your own radio show is that you get to play whatever you want and what you like. I am blessed, as opposed to corporate radio where that's the fact. So the Charms, the McGunks, and Wolfbane Blues, I would consider them to be in the Tony Jones stable, if you will. And now, something else you're not going to hear on many other shows, and especially on some more corporate-type radio programs, is surf music. So we're going to break into our surf block now. We're a little bit more than halfway through the program. That's a great time for a little surfing. So right now, here's Les Brown Jr. He's surfing and swinging. Coming out of what is possibly the most well-known surf tune of all times, of course, you just heard from the Ventures, Walk, Don't Run, the name of that track. Before that, a little Crimson's Ghosts here on the Tony Jones Show, some Misfits by way of Surf, 20 Eyes. And then, last time we chatted, I brought you into some Les Brown Jr. He was surfing and a swinging. You were tuned in to the Tony Jones Show online at TonyJones.org, on Facebook at Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. We're on Twitter at Tony Jones in RI, and check out RIFreeRadio.org. I mentioned way back at the top of the program that my mailbox runneth over this week, and we're going to continue with that now. And if I remember correctly, I completely and utterly butchered the name of this band the last time I spun them here on the show. Now I have been corrected. I have my enunciation ready. We're going to hear from Daniel Ouellette and the Shobijin. This just came in my mailbox this week. Here's a track called Pluck. That's Pluck, just in case the FCC is listening. Pluck You is fantastic. You heard it here first on The Tony Jones Show.
What is your favorite kind of paper money? And where will you dress in a gown like that? And how often do you point and laugh at others on the train? Well, my car is better than your ugly house and everything that you have ever owned. And what is your dream for the future of plastics? And where will you find your next source of magic? And how